Good evening, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Wanted to talk to everybody about a capacity and what that capacity is and what it's found on. What is the foundation of capacity? And everybody's got all these different processes they're doing. And they're authenticating the birth certificate or certificate of live birth, and they're doing the DBA, and I think one of the things that most people are forgetting is a foundational document that comes prior to all of the instruments within the United States. Every document that creates a financial instrument has to have an authorized signature. That authorized signature is verifying facts on that sheet of paper, and that those facts have a foundation. Okay? So when it comes to the birth certificate, certificate of live birth, everybody's worried about. The foundational document for those particular instruments, and every instrument that extends therefrom. And I want you people to understand, this is how it's set up. I'm going to explain the Federal Reserve, Social Security Act, and how it all works in regards to those two instruments, allowing the Federal Reserve to incorporate their property for use within the commercial system of the United States Corporation based on the birth certificates, certificate of live birth, that come with an abstract of information that has an original foundation. There it is. But I'm going to try to make this short, since nobody's viewing at the moment anyway. Doing a little later than I normally do. But when it comes to that abstract information, it comes from an original source. It has a foundation of its own, a separate foundation from which that information was drawn from. And so when we think about this foundational document, we have to also think that foundation. Okay. So we also have to think about that foundational document and where that information comes from. See, everything has a source. And so when we get down to the source of these instruments that we're using in these courts, every last one of them's got a financial instrument attached. And that has the original source, which is the foundation of the information within those instruments. And that foundation is a document. And it has signatures on it. Of fact within that makes it supposedly some form of affidavit, what we call an affidavit. Now, if that information is created by the state in an effort to create an instrument, and that is their intent, that's the part that's not disclosed. Okay, understand that part. Okay, I'm going to go out here. But now we're going to talk about the Federal Reserve Act and Social Security Act and how that works. Because, see, when you're born, that document that they create as an abstract for the birth certificate, certificate of live birth, is a set of information. And its intent is commercial. Therefore, it resides within the commercial realm only. This is what allows the Federal Reserve Act, through the use of the birth certificate and that statement of live birth. That statement of live birth contains a number. That number is directly related to the Social Security account and is assigned by the IMF. So we really need to think about this stuff, people, when we're filling out that information at the hospital to create a certificate of live birth or a birth certificate, and it's called a statement of live birth. Is it really an affidavit? Is it a statement of live birth? Is that doctor as a informant? An informant is one that puts in the squares, in the form, facts that create information. Information is a military term. Now line up and get information. It's all data collection for commercial purposes. Period. Plain and simple. And that's how the Federal Reserve Act ties in with the Social Security Act and proves that it's all fraud, based on a statement of live birth that no one will back up to be true. No one. Not even mom. Not even mother, the informant. Once she knows the truth, oh, I'm sorry, I can't support that. Think about this stuff, people. Anyway, correct. Foundational document. Brian Parker, hey, thanks for coming on and watching, brother. This is one of the reasons why I don't do documentation anymore. I keep reasserting and reaffirming my word is my bond. Therefore, if I don't know the use of the words that are being portrayed against me as a vibrational force against me, I have to vibrationally respond with the capabilities of knowing what I'm doing. And so, if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to ask questions, because I don't understand any of the written words they have. They're not my intent. They're somebody else's intent. So when it comes to these processes, I don't need them. It's all fraud, and we need to change it. And it all starts with that foundational document, and it starts with word. Whose word is it? Is it yours or mine? Because it ain't mine. It's not mine. My word is a voice of truth. I don't care who you are. I don't care what process you're following. I'm going to help guide you to the voice of truth according to the process you're following, by helping you out with the facts of it. According to the way it's supposed to run, this is what you're supposed to do. If you're going to authenticate the birth certificate, that places you in a certain capacity of operating that person. You need to know those capacities. There's too many capacities for me to deal with. I don't want to deal with them. I'll deal with the capacity I was born with, and that is that of a man, and behaving appropriately and not acting as a person. My father is not a respecter of persons, nor for am I. Period. So I wish everybody would really think about this stuff. I did a video a while back on a friend of mine who had his child, his Harris, was born in a hospital. And he took upon the benefit of their support while he needed it, while his child was being born. He didn't need any extra support from beyond that. So he got out of the hospital without filling out any of their documents. He created his own document by his own word and never even showed it to him. The hospital doesn't have any record of the child and what they call that their heiress. Their heiress. I'm sorry, I keep calling it child. Heiress. The one that has heretical rights of prosperity and abundance, and that's their capacity. Once that's written down on some piece of paper, it's been reduced. It's been defined. It is no longer infinite, it is fine. It is definite. definition. It is taken out of the context of the voice, the true voice of what comes from inside, the true intent. And it has now been written down. Even if it's written down by yourself, there is a possibility that it can be conveyed wrong or interpreted wrong. So when it comes down to truth, speak it. You already know it. You just have to get rid of the fear. And remember, people, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. God bless. Love y'all. Have a great night. Bye.